2.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Bravo. Bravissimo.
Oh, thank you. It's really...
I mute myself. I thought I can enhance your end, but for some reason, not necessarily when I mute myself. Thank you so much, Wen Qian. Let's welcome Wen.
Thank you very much.
Virtuoso violinist.
Oh, thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I am Ching Juhl. I've been hosting talk. It's like a talk show conversation with specialists, musicians, politicians, young gan for many weeks. So today is our 21st episode of this program. I would like to introduce our guest, my guest, your guest, Wen Qian. She is I hear some noise, sorry. She's sorry, I hear some weird noise. Wen Qian was hailed by China Daily as one of the China's most promising young violinists. And in Strad magazine, they quoted her as a rare thrill after her Carnegie Hall recital. Dennis Rooney, who is a music critic, said it was performed with enough highest and panache to thrill a listener while at the same time raising the question of why such results are so really achieved.
Oh, thank you.
So Wen Qian has been playing with Metropolitan Opera Orchestra for 23 years. She looks like 24. How'd that happen?
Thank you.
And she also teaches music at the Manners College. So welcome. I have so many questions for you. I'm so admire you as a musician and as a teacher, as a performer, and as an orchestra orchestra, an opera orchestra player. And so how are you doing?
Well, it started so suddenly in March. We have heard about the pandemic in China for since January. We heard all these things. Chinese are usually very careful with this kind of thing. In the Chinese community, we already knew that people were already preparing their 2-3 months of supply at home, food and stuff. So I was like, not a big deal. Until March 11th, that's my last show. I think it stopped on the 12th. It was so sudden that we were kind of informed about maybe not even a week ago. Actually, on the 11th, we were having a meeting. The possibility of closing, and then the next day, is closed. And then the 14th came. It was the school in New York City, all closed. It was just like that. At that time, you can imagine everyone probably felt like, my God, anything that it could have happened in a sci-fi movie is happening right now. So that was also the extent of the panic, that feeling of real urgency. So, and then it was at the time still saying that we were getting paid throughout the whole April. So we were still hoping, okay, somehow we'll go back to work, right? Or maybe in the middle of April, we started again.
Right.
We just never had this thought it's going to keep going. And then canceling the whole entire fall season. It's really, we're still trying to get our head wrapped around it. And I think now the reality really set in, because then what are we going to do? And if anything goes wrong, is it possible we don't open in January? I mean, now I believe anything could be a possibility.
Right.
So, so because
It's
of
tough.
that, it's very tough. So we are actually the Met, many people got together. We're doing some initiatives with a lot of online things, such as master classes. I'm actually in charge of this educational stuff. We just gave, it's a Scottsdale High School. We did a master class with 4 of our colleagues that I hosted. It was very successful. We had over 300 people watching, and so that was really, really positive. And then yesterday, I think our brass player and woodwind player just did a master class with Harlem Renaissance School, another master class. So that was great. So I'm still trying to get more going. And that's in a way also promote our own musicians as teachers. As you know, there's one of the most difficult thing about our orchestra is that our orchestra works so hard. I think among of any orchestra in the world, we probably will be the top 1 or 2. The next one probably will be very busy is Vienna Philharmonic. We not only playing 25 weeks, 26 weeks of opera, and then we have also symphonic concerts. So that makes us so busy during the year that most of the time I'm telling the truth. This is just my feeling. I believe some of my colleagues feel the same way. That feeling of trying to keep my head above water, because it's just like one after the other, and then you keep putting things away, everything that's not quite urgent or whatever. You always like kind of putting out fires during the season because it's just too busy. And so most of the musicians that is never really developed a teaching career or anything to do with teaching. You just don't have time. Especially if you have kids, you just run home after the rehearsal. You have about 3 hours at home. You cook dinner and get them ready, and then run out again. And then you get home until 12, sometimes 1 o'clock. So it doesn't turn into anything. So therefore, I feel it's very important for us to promote some of our musicians who are amazing teachers. It just showed me in my little hosted Scottsdale class, masterclass. Oh my
Mhm.
God, my colleagues are amazing teachers. They
Mhm.
really know the craft so well. It's just that they
Yeah.
never had a chance to shine. So
Now,
anyway,
I have a
so,
question for you.
mhm.
Oh, so, oh, first of all, my apology, our apology for the kind of a sluggish internet, because it's a little sluggish, okay, right now, because even when you talk. So I hear a funny sound here, like a pop, pop. Do you have anything on? Like, did you turn off the fan or, um,
Yeah, the first
okay,
fan
yeah, okay.
on.
So hopefully your kids are not using internet right now.
I
So
told them not to,
you tell
so
them, all right, we'll kill them. And
yeah.
so I have a question for you. Now, I don't know a lot of people play at the Met Orchestra. I don't know a lot. I know some, and Met Orchestra is considered one of the best orchestra in the world, and also one of the best paid orchestra in the world. Um, and I want to know your, like, in the short version. Before that, did you play any orchestra before you got that job?
No, I actually, I in festivals, yes, I did
Oh,
many festivals, and I was a concertmaster in many festivals. And I
uh-huh.
was a student. I was a student also at
Yeah,
school and all that
yeah,
stuff. Yeah, when the Met came, I just went to audition and then got the
yeah,
job. And then it was not easy for
yeah,
me at first
yeah,
because
yeah,
you're being an opera orchestra when people know this stuff so well, and you're sitting around them, and they know everything. You feel like, oh my god, where am I? And also looking at the conductor, and then playing with your stem partner, and also looking at the concert master, and then also here this was a lot of coordination to manage for a young student. So it
yeah,
was very quite hard, and I remember I had to really learn how
yeah,
to fit in, really
yeah,
fit in,
yeah,
to play with everyone and not sticking out, and then to be, and at the same time to be a contributor, because
yeah,
you don't want it to be so stick out, and also you're disturbing others. And yeah, there are cases like that.
yeah.
So
So what
yeah, it
is
was.
your, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's difficult. And so when you play opera, also physically you need to have very strong body and mentally, right? I mean, you play Wagner 5 hours afterwards, after a while, it's very taxing to your body. And
Actually, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to talk about. I actually learned a lot from sitting in that job. First of all, the most incredible thing was the musical making, because we
uh-huh,
hear the singers all the time, so therefore you hear how the voice is being developed, how the music is being, it connected with your emotion, with everyday talking, everyday, it's all very related. So I definitely understand music so much more. And another thing that I learned so much is conservation of energy. So
mm,
I
mm.
learned, this is I think the most
You take a
useful for
nap
my
in
teaching.
between.
Well, actually, I learned so much with how to use the best gravity, best, most relaxed form to play. So that
Hmm.
becomes an incredible tool for my teaching. So I
Yeah,
realized that you don't have to use so much body energy or to play, but use the most natural way to play, and then find the
mm,
most easy way to play.
mm,
So
mm.
yeah, that's actually part of my development of a new course at Manus. I'm hoping to get. It's called
Yeah.
art practice. Yeah,
Yeah, that's great.
they're coming from that also.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. I want to know a little bit about your upbringing. I know you were born in Beijing. You studied in China first. Are your parents musicians?
Yeah, actually, I have a very musical family. It started from three generations ago. So my great grandfather
Yeah.
was the music and art teacher of Mao Zedong in Hunan.
Hmm?
Yeah, he was a music. My great grandfather.
东
he,
方红，太阳升。
yeah, but of course he didn't write that. No, Trevor Ma actually studied art and music with him. So that's where, as far as that goes. And then,
Your mother's side or father's side? Which side?
My mother's side. My mother's side. You know, my mother's side. Yeah. And then my grandfather was the founder of the middle school, 中央音乐学院, the Central Conservatory, 部中, you know, the middle school attached to it. So what happened at the time he created this thing, was, you know, someone coming down and taking all this, how do you say those, orphans. He took orphans. Yeah, they're around 12, 13-year-old. He took all these orphans and they have a test with him and then got them as the first generation of classical musicians, actually. And those people later, when the new China started, those are the core members of the Central Philharmonic. Became all the 中央乐团。
中央乐团，对。
Yeah, Philharmonic. Later, those people graduated to be, the core classical musicians.
Wow.
So, yeah. And then my mother, all my uncles, they're all, I actually studied violin with my oldest uncle. Yeah, I was scared to death of him. He was very scary. He gets a pencil. Every time I do something wrong, he gets a pencil and hit my finger. So I'm like so petrified every time I go to my lesson.
I have this.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh my God. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, and then your parents, do they play anything?
My parents, my mother was a pianist. My father was also from Central Philharmonic. He was the piccolo player, actually.
What? I can't hear, sorry.
Piccolo. My father was a piccolo player, yeah.
Piccolo.
Yeah, he was the one really watched me and then, you know, practice with me, all that stuff.
I see.
Yeah.
Are you the only, you must be the only child.
I have a brother. My brother didn't want to play piano and anything. So he didn't actually become a musician.
Yeah.
And
so what is your, like, when you were in China, who you study with? Like your first few teachers?
My first teacher was my uncle, Huang Yanfu. And the second teacher, I'm not going to name the name, but she actually tried to kick me out of the school. I was in Zhuangye, the middle school at the Central Philharmonic, the conservatory, that she thought I had no talent. I was 11, 12-year-old. And it was a huge blow for me. I was
Sorry, I didn't hear what you say every word, dear. Who is she? Thought you have no talent.
It was my first violin teacher. I won't say her name, but yeah. So she kicked me out pretty much. She wanted to kick me out. She didn't want to teach me anymore. So I was given half a year of grievance period. So I had to, try really hard with a different teacher who really saved my life. Ching Juhl. Ching Juhl is his daughter is the owner of the flashing violin. Yeah. I studied with her father. So that's how, and I got better and better, and that's how it is.
Yeah. So you started like when you were 3 or 4?
7.
Yeah. But speaking of learning age, what do you think? Like people say, oh well, so many famous people, they start at 4 years old, 5 years old. Do you think age is a fact?
Definitely when you're learning young, that whatever you have, it lasts, give you a better foundation, I find. But I do feel that little kids sometimes is really hard. They're just doing what the teacher is telling them. It's really hard. I find anything. I'm trying to teach my kids anything at all. It has to come from them. If they wanted to learn it, they will learn it really well. So then it's really difficult for the young kids to learn really well at such a young age. But then I think maybe it's good to have like half an hour. Don't push the kids. Just have them have a little, and then give them a little environment where they go to a little orchestra. So it's a social event. It becomes more interesting. I know most people, especially American actually, they usually get to be interested in playing the violin at 15 or 16. That's when they really realize, oh, you know what, this is what I want to do. But if you didn't have the continuation of a little bit of something, it will not work well for you because the foundation that still is good to build when you're younger. Yeah, so I would suggest still do as a little, extra curriculum thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to say a few words about our audience. Tang Wei, hi, is watching. Ming Yu is watching. Let's see. Earth to Ella is watching. Thank you so much for joining us. You can ask questions, make comments. And Tang Wei said, bravo. Dion is watching. Dion is my son's godmother. And let's see. Jill Ascaron.
Yeah, that's my friend.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate you, and you can see these people. They make comments if you, from. I sometimes bring their comments to there. Okay, all right. So now, how about you play something for us again before we see any comments?
Yeah, I was thinking playing. This is kind of special because we just finishing play this opera, Porgy and Bess. Porgy and Bess. Yeah, I always. Yeah, Porgy and Bess. At the Met. Yeah, it was very, very successful and a big event. We even added 3 extra performance for this. And then so it's a bit of my remembrance of, what it was in February when the world was still a normal place.
Right.
Yeah, right. So anyway, so I'm gonna play a little bit of that.
I love Porgy and Bess. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. Porgy and Bess. It's called it ain't necessarily so.
Ain't necessarily.
It's arranged by Heifetz. All right.
Bravo. Beautiful.
The audio, my God, the computer audio is usually very.
Huh?
How was the audio? Is that
Audio. It's kind of in and out. Sometimes it's good, sometimes not too good. But yeah, I would say we got 70% pretty much. Maybe 30% got a little very strange. When you talk, it's not as good when you play. I don't know why. Like, yeah, like now I hear a lot of noise. Gaja, gaja, like there's a. Oh, that's better. What happened? Yeah. It was like a almost like a 鸭子在那里叫，呱呱呱呱呱。Thank you. Right now is I hear a lot of. Can you use headphone, please, dear?
Sure.
Please, yeah, because right now I hear kind of noise. So thank you. When we try to figure out all our technology, yeah, that sometimes we are enhanced by tech. Sometimes we are disturbed by technology. So that we just have to be flexible, right? So the essence is making music. The essence is communication. So even if we have, occasionally bad sound, I think that people understand. And I wanted to make an announcement for please, for those of you who have not subscribed Juhl Media YouTube channel, please consider doing so. I have been doing this series called A Conversation with Special Someone for many weeks. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Oh, I know. Either your end or my end has like a siren.
Siren is going on. Yes.
Is that from you? Ooh, we live in New York City. So Wen and I, we live about about like 30 to 40 blocks away.
Right.
是不是啊？你是80几节是吧？ Yeah. So I'm 100.
I'm in the 90s, 98th.
Oh, you're 90.
We're closer. We're 30 blocks.
90. Okay. 我是124，你是90几啊？没有那么多啊。
24.
My math is terrible. Terrible. And so yeah, please subscribe my YouTube channel. Do you have a YouTube channel, Wen?
I don't. I was thinking of doing one because I have some teaching videos that I'm putting out there. I'm just a little embarrassed right now. I'm not so.
Oh, you know what? Brave. Can you take the tape off? Take that tape off.
I did. That's what I did.
That's very weird right now. It's like
because I'm using an earphone as well right now. Maybe the earphone is not good.
Can you hear it?
I'm gonna take out the earphone now.
Okay, take out the earphone.
And then because
take out the earphone should be not as good.
There we go. Let's try now.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Is it better?
Yeah, I don't hear this thunder sound because earlier when you talk, is it like you're thunder,
It's so horrible. Now it's better?
Yeah, that's good. So anyway, now, so you trained in China, and then you did a tour of United States in 1990. When? 4.
No, I think I went back to China from then. Yeah.
Oh, you went to China. Okay.
I went to China to do this. Yeah. At the time I was a student here, and then went back for a little tour of the performance, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So now, tell me a little bit about you're an educator now, and you're trained in China, and then you also train in the United States, and you play in professional gig. What is the difference, major difference between Chinese way of teaching and Western way of teaching, American way of teaching?
I would say when I was in China, I mean, I think at the time, our teacher really had very limited resources at the time. I mean, at the time we're talking about, we rarely even get any recording LPs. So my teacher probably is one of them
actually did collect the old LP and I actually listened to them. Went to the library, always listening. But the resource is very, very little, I think. And I think he did the best he could. He had also made me listen to some of the pieces. And then at the time, what his best tool was imitating. So, listen to this. Orchestra did this, and let me imitate that. And he also was amazing. That my teacher, he got a lot of Zhang Shixiang at the time had translated a lot of those nice books, but it was never published. He was the one actually borrowed those and then made a copy, and then he actually studied those, including something about the bow with circling and then all kind of shapes, and then also he thought about intonation, finding the third note that when you play double step, so finding the absolute intonation. And he has very incredible system with it. It's really, really great. So thank for his teaching, because I was being exposed to those areas. So when I came here, and then it opens up my eyes because there's so many different ways of playing. You know, they're Russian, Galamian, and they're the Franco way and whatever. It's just like a million ways. So, and then also my way of learning is also, I went to many different teachers, and I take whatever essential that I felt is really spoke to me, and I took it. And then some of them didn't speak to me. I didn't really take it. Could be from the same teacher. Some ideas is fantastic. Some ideas are great. And then because I was able to listen to so many concerts, also I think the peer, you playing chamber music, I think that's one of the biggest thing. Chamber music really changed my life, actually, because I studied with Felix Gallier. And then later went to Marlborough, and that was amazing experience because you really learn how to play with other people, learn from every instrument, and then that had the best player in the world in there. So therefore, I learned a lot from peers. I think that also was one of the unbelievable thing about coming to America to study. Yes.
Yeah. I think. I remember when I first, I'm a violist. I trained in China too. But when I first came to this country, my viola playing skill can be considered as top, like 1 or 2 in a whole university music school in New York, in Indiana. But I have had very little knowledge of orchestra playing. I had no idea Brahms wrote 4 symphonies, stuff like that, like a very basic thing. And then orchestra, chamber music training also in China was not optimum those days. I think it's much better now.
Much better now, yes.
So I think you're right. I can really feel because we were a little weak in those ensemble, training area. So people can absorb or being a very good technician on their instrument, but not necessarily understand music, not understand the styles of music or many genres of like I remember when I was studying with my professor, and they would encourage me to listen to, say, if I play Brahms viola sonata, and then they'll encourage me to listen to Brahms symphony. You know what I mean? Not necessarily just listen to viola or watching your own single line.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about, in terms of education, you were saying you are developing some school or some method, or tell us more about your education.
Yeah, I teach at Menace, and also I have a group class, a very, very large class, 30 kids in this orchestra rep class. It's just called a violin class. And it is, I don't know it's going to be going on next year or not, because it is a large amount of students, 30 people. It's really hard to teach a performance class when there's such a large, it's really hard to get by everybody. So I'm hoping it's still going on. And but at the same time, because of this pandemic, I starting to teach online, and I start to teach all my students about how to practice. Pretty much, we get down to the basic of every single problem, shifting, why they can play, the technical just not as brilliant. A lot of to do with the shifting and a lot of left-handed techniques and stuff that need to be just not hand position is not quite right, and they change all the time. Some people put the first finger up, and those are all the problems that stop them from being, advanced. So. And then also because of my job at the Met, I have so limited time to practice because I play so many hours. So for instance, I'm just like few of the people at the Met still playing concerts outside. I just played a concert actually amazingly just right before the close. March 7th, I played the Beethoven Concerto, which is completely brand new for me. I never learned it before. So I started early. Because of learning that concerto, I learned feel another experience before. I learned how to use your time, how to really efficiently use your time. So for instance, if I don't have time to practice, how do I practice? I'm not going to touch my violin. I'm going to have a music in front of me and memorize and pretend that I'm playing in my mind. I learned big part of my concerto that way. Just by not touching the violin, because so many hours and my hand is tired. If I know I'm playing a little more, I might get into trouble. So I have to develop that kind of mental practice. So all these things, I find it becomes a tool for me to teach my student how to really get to, the higher realm of playing.
I totally agree with you. And I think practicing is not just open the case and hold a instrument and start to play. Practice involves even say some of our students, right? If you're on a train, if you have a long 45-minute commute, just look at the score is practicing.
Exactly.
Right? And you can do mental practicing. You can finger yourself or look at the score or look at the parts. But I think we, a lot of students, including my early years, we do not utilize score either. Because if you don't read the score, and you only know your own part, which is so limited.
And that's very dangerous. When you're in the performance, you don't know what's going on in the rest of the orchestra. Is very when you all of a sudden become shocked by that, you can make mistakes. That's very dangerous thing to do. And also, also about how to deal with the stage fright, how to, and how to perform the best when you're performing, and practice that. Not to be on the stage and then you worry about, oh, shoot, I don't know this, I don't know. And then you start worrying about everything just go completely all bad. And instead of how to be prepared, use mental practice to almost like a meditation. You meditate how you're going to be, and then really put yourself in that situation and practice as if there's a huge amount of people. And also to think about all kind of scenario in you possible could happen, and whatever happened before. So for instance, you're hardly going to go so fast, your vibrato is so fast, you have a hard time controlling, and that's when you really just start getting all crazy. How to calm the nerves, you know, that deep breathing exercise you can do. Yeah. There's so many things one can actually practice before the real event happens. But if you without that, the things that I realize what students do, then I had done that many times, is that I think that I can get lucky. On the day of performance, I will get lucky. Somehow it will get through. But they didn't realize, or I didn't realize when I was young, if you don't solve a problem, it will never be solved. On the stage, you will not play it well.
Right.
It has to be done. The practice, the fixing has to be beforehand.
Yeah. So I have so many times myself thinking, like in practice room, I did not make it perfect, and I would pray I will do okay at the spot. It did not happen.
Exactly.
Not only you have to be perfect, like you have to be 150% better, perfect.
No, Starker. Jonas Starker said 200%.
Yeah, or 200%. Man.
You need 100%, you still have 100% left. That's what it should be.
And then another thing I do, and I tell my student and my son to do, is to visualize. Like before you audition, you do that for like a week or even two, like the night before, or the afternoon. If say you are scheduled as a 4 o'clock audition, right? You'll start to visualize at 4 o'clock. Visualize every step the way how you're going to do this audition, including walking there, including you early walk there, including eat something or drink something, start to practice, and then walk onto the stage. Every step you can imagine. If you do that for a week or two, by the time you do audition, you will feel less nervous. You'll feel more in control. So
That's so correct. That's part of what part of the course as well.
Yeah.
It's very, very important. And also when you're playing, visualize all this. And then if you start to feel the tension, because when you're nervous, I have a friend, very funny. She was auditioning for Boston Symphony. And she told me every time, even when Boston, this word come up, she feels tightness in her neck. It's so funny how it is. Like we really, our first initiation to tense is this part. Mm-hmm. So one of the technique that I try to incorporate is that when you practice, when you start thinking, when you visualize, that sometimes you get, okay, let's say we have audition in Juilliard, right away you're like tense up because just the word, the thought of that comes up. And okay, at that time, this is when you really try, still thinking Juilliard, and then yet trying to get your body relaxed.
Yeah.
And then once you find that moment of relaxation, then, okay, what does it feel like? Some people might say, oh, gravity, or some people may say, just relax, simple a word like that. I would actually write that down under the music, or write anywhere down, or remember, why I feel that way, I'm going to sing that word. So it's like a sport. People use that as a 暗示, how do you say?
Hint.
Hint. Yeah, hint. Right. Use a hint note to get yourself back into your normal, the best. State.
I have a question. Kind of a little nerdy. Now you played opera orchestra, and then people audition for symphony orchestra, which is on stage. So is the basic technique of winning an audition, whether it's an opera orchestra or symphonic orchestra, are there any differences?
I know that at the Met Opera, every time we're looking for a player, it's always music. So this player has to be perfectly in tune, which is, at the end, when you get into the final, there's just no question that you're in tune, you're good, sound and everything, rhythm and everything's already, okay, the next thing, the ultimate goal is music. So we're always looking for this player who's the most musical, and also the other stuff is not the problem, right? So yes, so if there is a difference, I would think if you play amazing musical in symphony orchestra, you will stand out as well, because that's ultimately what people are listening for.
Yeah.
But of course, if you have your still difficulties on your technique, intonation, as doesn't matter how beautiful you play, it's still, you will be,
And also, I think winning an audition, it has to do quite a few other facts, other than you have to play in tune and rhythm and musical and good sound. It depends also the panel, like who is the conductor, right? Conductor sometimes will like this person more than the other person, right?
That's for sure.
And the conductor is the main decision making, I guess, because even you have a team of audition committee, do we ultimately in the end is conductor decides, isn't it?
Not at the Met. The Met only have the jury.
Okay.
We only have the jury to decide.
Okay.
The conductor, if he comes, he only have one vote. So it will not. Not like a symphony orchestra that I know that the conductor has 5 votes or something like that. No, not at the Met. I would say, in terms of audition process, the Met has the most fair because
you close the curtain the entire time.
Completely, they have no idea you're girl, boy, or black, or white, or Asian, or whoever it is. They don't care what's someone who's your enemy. They don't know who you are.
Did you ever had an experience the orchestra when they opened the curtain, they regret it?
I know I wouldn't say. No, I don't think so. I think the Met Orchestra has been the nicest group of people. People are so supportive. Usually, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah. So tell me. I'm interested now. Like when you audition for Met, that was 1997, the year you got. Did you think you will get it? Or did you think I'm going to try? Or did you think that was a piece of cake? I'm going to nail it.
Okay, I'll tell you the story. What happened is that right before the audition, that was actually in the middle of December. So, of 2006. No, 1996.
1996. Yeah,
I'm that old. Okay, so I got an invitation to be concertmaster in a German orchestra to tour in China. So, and they paid for me the whole thing, and it was a great thing. So I cannot say no, right?
Yeah.
So so I had to make a tape for the Met. So I made a tape and sent it, and I went to the thing, and then every day practicing. And came back and I got a letter in the mail at the time, still letter, no email yet. You were rejected. I was not asked to be doing the live audition. So I, at the time, I just had such drive. I said, you know what? I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna take my violin and then just go to the Met at the backstage. I'm gonna get in. I don't care. I'm gonna tell them I'm ready. I'm gonna audition. That was my drive. That was my So I didn't have to do that. I called because previously I had gotten to the final super final at the San Francisco Opera. And maybe I qualified to play first round, and they said okay, fine. So I did to be invited to play. And the fact is that I practiced so much, and then I had to send to my husband at the time, was just boyfriend. So he helped me so much with this preparation because he's a conductor, and he also was in the Met already. So he knows what to look for. And one of the things that I realized is very, very important is actually I shouldn't be just learning my part. I need to listen. I need to know what is the rest of the orchestra. I cannot learn those excerpts just based on my line. Right. I have to understand what the singer is singing, what is the orchestra, the rest of the orchestra is playing, what am I playing against? Right. And in such a whole, it became my preparation. I think that was one of the most important things that I learned. And another one is the rhythm, the importance of rhythm. I remember I was having a hell of a time trying to learn the Rosenkavalier's third act. It was a fast 12/8. Oh my God, I could not play that piece. No matter how I played the piece, I was falling apart. I was just sounds like I'm trying to catch up and trying to wait and try to catch up. It's always this feeling of panicking. So finally, you know what I did? I told my husband and boyfriend at the time, "Man, go home. I don't want you anymore," because he's like getting very frustrated with me. I couldn't do it. So I stayed home. I put down my metronome. I just did da 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 da, and I sung with it. I was singing with it. So I da, 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 I sang, and I was singing with the old listen to this what is a resting place as well, and I finally turned it off, and I was listening to it. I could hear this rhythm when I am not using the metronome. So I realized in that audition how important is to have an inner pause, not just using metronome. Using metronome, I realized a lot of students just try to follow it. So they're trying to catch up, trying to wait, trying to catch up. It's completely useless because that never became their own. So from that experience, I understood that I need to get that rhythm inside of me. Then I can be rhythmical. So that's what it is. Yeah, so that really actually helped me a lot at the end, finally able to play that piece.
Yeah. So now you walked in, you said, I'm going to play the first round. And what happened?
I didn't think it was good because I practiced so well. And then the acoustic was wrong. I started to think, oh, I did this wrong. I did that wrong. I started picking myself apart. And apparently I got unanimous vote. So I got full vote to advance to that. So I was like, oh, great, fantastic. So then it's the second round. Apparently the same thing. I felt the same way. I felt like, oh my God, I made so many mistakes. But my mistake was so little because I practiced so well. It wasn't, I got unanimous vote. So and then the third round came, and then for some reason I remember I was trying to change my acoustic because I was like really shocked by the acoustic, and I was trying to change something.
On stage, right? You did on stage in a room.
It was in a C level, which is a very booming rehearsal room. Yeah. So acoustic was very different from the. So then what happens? I practice a little bit right before the third round in the hallway, and then the echo was so huge. So now I got there to play, and then in comparison, there's no echo. And now freaking out again.
Poor musician.
Yeah. So anyway, for whatever reason, I advanced with my best friend actually, Katerina, who is also in the orchestra now, and also another best friend of mine, Guo Qing. You know Guo Qing, right? Who was in Guo Qing was in City Ballet.
Okay. Yeah.
So at the end, so three of us left for the last two. So me and Katerina won. So coaching didn't.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was my And I remember after I done that audition, I was like, oh my God, I would never want to take this audition ever, any kind of audition ever again. I thought it was the most torturous thing in the world.
Yeah.
So much going to mentally, physically, everything. You just emotionally. It's so focused. It has to be so focused to get to that. Yeah.
So I understand your husband plays the same orchestra with you for a long time. How did the dynamics go? Like, are you guys always working the same time? Like, you have to come home, eat the dinner and whatever. I mean, tell me a little bit if you don't mind.
A lot of people said that too. Not only that, we were STEM partners.
Oh my God! STEM partner means people who share a same stand. So they play together in orchestra.
A lot.
Wow.
On the second or third stand. Yeah. Wow. We were there all the time.
I sympathize with you. So how do you balance this kind of intensive union?
Actually, it's not bad. It's not bad. We actually learned to bond really well. I mean, there are times, yes, we were fighting a little bit, but we never really brought it to the Met. Yeah. It just sometimes I get annoyed at like, why did you mention that? You know?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But otherwise, it's actually very nice. It actually bonded us because yeah, unfortunately, when we come back, all our conversations about the Met.
Yeah.
Always about the singers, about
Yeah.
the playing today, whatever, and what happened at the Met, and it's always, yeah, it gets a little,
Yeah. Are you like, I would say your outgoing personality is the same as your husband? Is
He's
he?
pretty outgoing too. He's very goofy. He's actually the favorite person in the whole section because he's so goofy that you know how it is. You play bel canto kind of opera. All you do is that da 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 da. You know, so he's able to wake everybody up.
Yeah.
So he's that person.
他叫 David.
No, Ming.
What's his name?
新明峰.
Oh,
明峰Xing.
Ming Feng Xing.
Yeah.
Wow,
He's
it's amazing.
Chinese.
So now your family, your mom, and are you a tiger mother?
Not really. No, I'm not. I'm more like hands-free and yeah. My husband right now is taking over the education because he retired from the Met. So now he has more time to, and also he's a better student than me, I guess. He actually was coaching helping tutoring my kids with their math problem. My son was able to, get into the specialized high school because my husband was helping him with the Shazette. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, he did amazingly. Yeah. So yeah, I have to say how much I appreciate him. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
great.
And then he's also such a great man. I mean, he's just a really wonderful person, really, love the kids, take care of the family. He's just so amazing. And thank God he's retired. So now he's getting the pension. He's, if anything, his income is steady right now.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing. So we're almost 5 o'clock. I forgot to ask you one thing, dear. I do rapid fire with my guests. I forgot to ask you, would you mind doing it? Do you know rapid fire? Rapid fire is like a fun game. Like I ask question, like a really short, and you answer in a very rapid manner. In other words, and in a short manner. For instance, if you ask me, you always say, "What's your favorite color?" and I'll say blue. Yeah. Something like that. So it's all 这种 question 都不是很 consequence, 不是 kind of fun. So would you like to play for us a little bit and then we do rapid fire?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Play? Oh, I actually don't have another piece. I haven't practiced any of the
opera excerpts. How about the Wagner Ring Cycle?
I don't have a music in front of me. No, it's okay.
No?
No.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, do you have anything you want to mention? I have not touched.
Actually, I forgot to mention. So this is, since we're doing this, that in my education, one other person was very, very consequential and very helpful in my life. His name is Walter Scheuer, and he's already passed away. And I had a magical, like, kind of Cinderella story because I had no money when I came to here. And then before I came to Manus, I wrote to about 100 people, foundations, asking for help. And he was the person who actually answered my question, my letter back. And he happened to be the producer of this famous movie from Mozart.
Oh,
from Mozart. So therefore, then he
what's his name?
Sponsored me, Walter Scheuer.
Walter, okay.
Walter Scheuer.
W-A-E-R? No, W-A-L.
A-L-T-E-R. Scheuer, S-C-H-E-U-E-R. Yeah.
Oh, I'm writing it down. Oh.
Yeah, and then he was he was I guess an angel showed up in my life, I think. I think that's really also the reason that enabled me to practice, to actually come to New York since 1989. 1989, I came to Menace. Well, maybe 1990, I forgot even.
Mm.
Yeah, he's the one that sponsored me so that I was able to practice and then really continue doing, make the best of my career. So
Yeah, that's wonderful.
yeah,
You sometimes musicians or students just need one of those angels, right? To
exactly.
to
Guardian angel.
turn the wheels around,
Exactly.
right?
So I have to
Yeah.
say I'm the lucky star. I'm very, very lucky
哦，那
in this.
他也是说明他有眼光，it also has to do with he also sees things in you, So
Yeah.
yeah, he has the vision. Yeah, wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
So all right, should we do rapid fire?
Sure.
Okay, all right. So let me move this a little bit to here. Rapid fire means okay. By the way, before we do rapid fire, I just wanted to thank everybody being here with us, and thank you, Wen Qian, for talking to me. It's very inspiring, and it's we are not like know each other that well as a colleague, but I've been watching you and I've been admiring your career, and so thank you so much for your time. And this series is usually Monday, Wednesday. On Saturday, this coming Saturday, on June 27th at 1 p.m., actually, I was invited by a group of mom. They're homeschooling mother, 500 of them. They want me to do a seminar about early music education. In other words, they
Oh,
have questions about, I guess, people wanting to know how to educate their kids in a homeschooling situation. And so they also invited Sean, my son, to join me. So Sean and I were going to talk with parents 1 p.m. I like this setting.
this sounds great. My goodness, you really educate. Oh, well, first of all, I wanted to tell you, you have been one of the person that I admire. I've seen so many things that you're doing. It's you are so creative, innovative, and it's amazing. You really
Thank you.
something. And I'm really proud that you're Chinese also, because
Oh,
usually Chinese are very shy. They don't want to go out to speak their opinions, and you're so brave and always kind of just say what's in your mind, and I'm really admire that of you.
thank you.
Amazing. And your films are really wonderful too.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So thank you. So next week on Wednesday, like I mentioned, I think briefly, I'm gonna have Helen Gerhardt, who is graduate from Curtis, harpist from Curtis, and then immediately she was one of the sub for Philadelphia Orchestra as a harp player. So she's gonna be my guest. We're gonna talk about music, and she now is also, I think she's very young, like a little more than 20 years old. She's also an exec director for Lyrics. It is a nonprofit organization about harp education to kids, or harp music and things about harp. Yeah. And
Wow.
yeah, so the week
I
after
would
that,
tune in for
yeah,
sure.
the week
Yes.
after that, we're gonna have I'm gonna talk with a violinist, another violinist who plays electronic violin and who is also actress, and Adriana um, Motto. Anyway, thank you so much. So okay, let's move on to we do. I love this little game recommended by Wang Jie. You know Wang Jie, right?
I'm not sure.
Wang Ji is a composer.
Ah,
Composer. She married to Fred Child, which is a classical music station announcer. Yeah, I
oh.
interviewed both of them. Yeah. So they
Mhm.
live very close to me and they're a lot of fun. All right, rapid fire. Okay, violin you are playing on. Who made that?
Malagari is from Turin. 19, oh, I have to look, 1789. I'm not sure. 88, 1870, something like that.
Wow, awesome. Sounds really creamy. I mean, this like we should do this again, in a better circumstances because the Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So sound beautiful. Yeah, you sound beautiful.
you.
At the sound check, even a few days ago, it sounded really beautiful. What's your favorite color? Favorite color?
Blue. Blue.
Blue? Oh, okay. Sorry, we have a lack. Um, well, you're from Beijing. I don't know. 我不知道你的籍贯是哪里. What is your favorite Chinese food?
Polish Shanghainese.
Oh yeah?
My father is Shanghainese. 南通江苏。
哦哦，
Yeah.
跟我上海话听得懂吗？跟我上海话
一点点。
Yeah. So while you're from 南方，那么 do you like spicy food or not?
I do like spicy food. Yes. Sichuan
You
food
do?
is also my favorite. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, dear. There's a lot of lacking.
Oh.
Do you drive? Do you drive?
I do.
Okay.
We used to live in New Jersey for 7 years.
Oh, so in your car,
Yes.
which radio station do you tune out?
Probably the PBS. What do you call that? The
PBS.
Yeah, PBS. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Country you want to visit. You haven't, but you want to visit.
India. I think that's probably one of them. India and Egypt.
Sorry.
India and Egypt.
Oh, India and Egypt. Fascinating.
Yeah, because all the other European country I've been to, all of them pretty much.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that two parts is a little, yeah.
Yeah. Next life, what would you like to be?
Ooh.
If you're not a violinist.
Oh my god.
你说话往远一点，看看，往远一点看。
Maybe a doctor?
A doctor. You'll be a
Yeah.
great doctor. You'll be a great doctor. Perfect intonation.
Oh yeah. Well, that one I don't know. I find that's the hardest thing in life is intonation.
Language you want to learn.
Oh, Italian.
All right. So one last one. Coffee or tea?
Coffee for sure.
Me too. Well,
Definitely.
thank you so much. And I don't see any questions from our audience. They are just making comments. And thank you so much. Thank you for Erica, Russell, Jill. Thank you, Ming. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Wei. I know Wei Tan has an engagement with her daughter today, but she spent time with us. So thank you so much. And yeah, stay safe. And I'll see you in person. I'll take you for a
Hopefully
drink.
soon. Hopefully very soon. Yeah.
Okay.
And all the best. And thank you so much. It's such an honor to be in your show. It's really wonderful.
Thank
Great
you.
experience.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Peace.
Bye. Peace. Bye, everybody. I'm going to click